Kugan Cassius, IFLTV on the red carpet for Usyk versus Fury. I'm joined by Teddy Atlas. Teddy, first of all, how are you?
I'm good. Tired a little bit from the trip from New York, but everybody is. And but blessed. Blessed that somebody actually would want me here. And my son. That's the real blessing, that I could have this experience with my son, and that the people are good enough to ask me to come. Turkey Al-Sheikh and Spencer Brown and everybody, and I appreciate that. But you know what I appreciate about being here? Everyone says, well, the fight, the big fight, the rematch, but I really appreciate just the kindness of all the people here. Really, it's second to none. The hospitality, you can feel the sincere warmth. And I went to the gym today with all the young kids that they're building here, the young team of fighters here in Saudi. And that made, don't get me wrong, this is a big fight. But to me, and these are big heavyweights, and they're great. Great. But those kids, they were the ones that, put it this way, they're my adopted kids now. And to see them learning and working hard and determined and just developing. From the first time over a year ago when I first saw them, how much better they've gotten. And the people they are. They're good kids. They're just good people. Somebody's doing something right. And you're doing something right.
Trying, Teddy.
So it's good seeing you.
Likewise. Teddy, break it down for me. How's this going to play out in just a few hours? Tyson Fury's rematch with OLEKSANDR USYK here in Riyadh.
Look, there's no doubt. Let's touch I think the more obvious. And then the less obvious. But for me, I think it is obvious. But I don't think everyone looks at the last part that I'm going to touch. The obvious is Fury's better. I think he prepared better. I think he's where he wants to be physically, mentally. He obviously made a concerted effort to change things. You know, his father's not in the corner, and it took a lot to do that. He loves his father loves him. To do that took a lot, and he's been away, from what I understand, for 3 months, isolated. So he definitely made a commitment to do something different this time and to be better prepared. I'm not saying he wasn't prepared the first time, but in his mind and all the mind of the people I've talked to around his camp, this is the best that he's been in a long time, as far as, the way that the seriousness in which he took everything. And so that has to bode well for him. I mean, there's no getting around it. But the other guy still has the one element, and that other guy being Usyk, that he's always had, the reason why I picked him the first time. I like both guys. They're great. They're great for what they've done for the sport, what they've done for their families, how they represent themselves. They're great. And what they've gone through in life. They're great. But the reason I picked Usyk the first time is because his greatest strength, he's a well-rounded guy. And Fury's a well-rounded guy. Very, very, a guy who's very versatile. But Usyk is great. The great thing about him, his greatest trait is he finds a way to win. He always finds a way to win. I'll say it again, he always finds a way to win. And that is still there. That is still hovering somewhere in this building. And I think that's something will get a chance to show itself at some point. And the last thing I'll say that's not as obvious that I had touched on earlier is when you have two great fighters, in this case heavyweights, fighting later in their careers, and let's not forget, they're getting old, or they're getting older. I'm not saying old, I shouldn't say that, I'm old. They're getting older. When you have two guys this great that are this competitive and have been this comparable in skills, and they fought once before, and like I said, they're getting up in age, they leave a piece of themselves in the ring. That's something that nobody's touching on. The thrill in Manila. Oh my God, the great Ali, the great Frazier. They left a piece of themselves, those two great men, in the ring that night. They were never the same. I believe that every time a fighter gets in the ring, they leave a piece of themselves. The only thing in question is how much. How much? And when you get older, a little more. I believe they both left to piece themselves over here, in this place, last time. So to me, it comes down, who left more of themselves in the ring? And I'm gonna take a guess that maybe Fury did. Maybe. But you know what? You know what made Ali and Frazier so great, even though those two fighters had been dissipated physically a little bit at that point in their career. They were older. That fight great was their character was still intact. They still had great character, the will to win. And these two men have that. It should be a hell of a fight.
Not long to find out. Teddy Atlas, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Teddy.